Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Life Stories. My name is Trent, and as usual, hope you guys are all doing awesome. Today, we got stories coming at you from, as you may expect, Reddit/entitledparents. So, without further ado, let's get to seeing where the entitlement's coming from today. Our first story of the day is titled, Entitled Dog Mom Wonders Why Her Baby Isn't Finished an Hour Early on a Busy Day. Long-time lurker, first-time poster, let me know if this isn't EP enough and I need to remove it. I started working at a dog grooming salon a few months ago, and I'm not quite a groomer yet. My job includes trimming nails, cleaning ears, expressing anal glands, brushing, bathing, and blow-drying the dog. Sometimes, if the dog's coat is matted, I'll do what's called a pre-shave, where I do a quick and messy shave to get most of the hair off before the bath. And I do that because it'll cut drying time in half. We didn't close for the Rona, so we've been and stayed extremely busy, especially now in the summer. People want summer cuts for their long-haired dogs. By the way, your double-coated dog does not need to be shaved, no matter how hot it gets. I'll explain in the comments because it's not relevant to the story. Saturdays are our busiest days. We have some fancy groomer tubs in the next room over that people can use to bathe their own dogs for $10, and they get a discount on add-ons like nail trims if they use the tubs as well. The thing about that is there are only 3 people in the salon, and we have 3 tables. So if someone who doesn't have an appointment wants a nail trim, we'll have to stop what we're doing to get the nails done. It only takes 5 to 10 minutes to do nails, depending on the dog, but that's 5 to 10 minutes that we're keeping the appointment dog longer. For more context, I'll explain how long it takes me to do the things I need to do. Nails, like I said, takes 5 to 10 minutes. A pre-shave takes from 15 to 45, depending on how matted the dog is. If I needed to de-shed a double-coated dog, that takes a good hour. Brushing can take anywhere from 5 to 30 minutes, depending on the size of the dog and how much they'll let me brush them. All that is before the bath, even, which takes 10 to 30 minutes, and blow-drying takes 15 to 45 minutes. And that's just before the actual groom. Plus, we schedule our dogs so that we have 2 coming in every hour we work up until 2. So if I'm spending 30 minutes to an hour on dog number 1, dog number 2 is sitting in the kennels waiting for their turn. The other 2 groomers can and do help me out with pre-shaving and getting the dog ready for the bath when we're busy, but most of the time, they have their own work. By the way, it takes a good hour for them to do the groom itself. And we'll give you a good estimate on when you'll be able to pick your dog up. If we know a small, well-behaved dog is going to take up to an hour and a half, but we have a naughty dog in line before your small dog, we'll tell you it's probably going to take up to 4 hours to get your dog out of here. Most people understand that. We have appointment times for a reason, too. If your dog has an appointment at 12, but you bring him an hour early, we're not going to be able to get him until his appointment time. I shouldn't have to explain that, but I do. Most people just bring their dogs in early because they have other places to be, and we'll be happy to keep the dog in the kennels until we can work on them. But that doesn't mean that their dog will be done an hour early. So, with all that background, let me set the scene. It's Saturday. People are stopping us every hour to do a nail trim. Plus, if someone calls us and asks to speak to a groomer, we have to stop working on the dogs as well. Lots of extra nail trims, lots of people calling to ask if they can set up an appointment, etc. Luckily, I don't think we had many big or double-coated dogs that Saturday, so that's good. The first thing I noticed about this Karen, as she brought her palm mix in, was this lady's blue eyeliner and how good it looked. Like, damn, lady, even I can't pull off blue eyeliner like that. Congrats! The dog's name started with an S, and it was a perfectly sweet little dog. The thing is, Karen's appointment was at 12, and she brought S in at 11. We said sure, no problem, but we won't start on her until her appointment time, and Karen said that was fine. We also let her know that we were pretty busy that day, so it would be a good couple of hours before S was done. Karen said that was fine. S was sweet and well-behaved. The only problem I had with her was that she had long hair and she didn't need a pre-shave, so drying took a long time, and S didn't like it when I pointed the blow dryer at her front half. Lots of dogs don't. I don't take it personally, she never tried to bite me, all she did was squirm, and my tether is pretty crappy, so she was getting loose a lot. I thought, hey, no problem. She's mostly dry, so I'll just put her in the kennel dryer to dry completely while the groomers are busy with the other dogs. So I did just that, and then I got my next dog out. While I'm doing my next dog, Karen calls us. The cashier, who initially answers the phone and then directs the calls to us if he needs to, says Karen was very combative right from the get-go. "Excuse me, I would just like to know where the hell my dog is." So he transfers her to the salon. I'm not really allowed to answer the phone because I'm so new, so R answered. Apparently, Karen repeated herself to R in the same manner. What I'm giving to you now is what R said Karen said, and what I could hear R saying. R says, "Okay, who's your dog?" "S. She's been there for like 4 hours already. Are you not done with her by now?" R asks me about S, and I explain she's in the kennel dryer getting completely dry because she didn't really like the blow dryer. "Okay, ma'am, it looks like S is just in the kennel dryer. She just got finished with her bath and she'll be ready soon." "Why aren't you working on her now? It's been long enough." We like to make sure the dogs are completely 100% dry before we start to groom to prevent molding on the coat. S didn't really like the blow dryer, so she's in the kennel dryer right now, ma'am. She's going to get worked on next, though. Apparently, Karen lost it at that. "I've been taking S to the groomers her whole life, and nobody has ever told me that she's been uncooperative." R says in confusion, "Ma'am, I'm not lying to you." "Well, it's been 4 hours. How are you not done yet?" "Ma'am, Saturdays are our busiest days. We have people coming in for nail trims and—" Karen interrupts her. "I don't see what that has to do with S." R was trying to explain what they had to do with S, and a different dog started barking in the dryer kennel. "I can hear her crying. What are you doing to my dog?" "Ma'am, we're not hurting her. She just doesn't like the kennel dryer very much. I don't think that's S crying back there either." "I want to talk to your manager right now." "Unfortunately, our manager doesn't work on Saturdays. You can call back on Tuesday if you want to talk to her." "Give me her cell phone number." "I actually can't give out my manager's personal information. If you want to talk to her, you can call back on Tuesday." And then Karen hung up. Me and the other groomers were like, "Huh? What the hell?" Because we could only hear half the conversation. The cashier even joined us to talk about how crazy she was. It's a shame because S was such a sweet little dog to have such a crazy owner. I went home before the groomers got done with S, but apparently she sent her husband to pick her up. Karen was probably the craziest person we've had to deal with since we started working there, but we got many more entitled people. Anyway, I don't think Karen actually called our manager, and she hasn't set a new appointment since. Thank God. And adding on to the end, they did post their little factoid about double-coated dogs. Your double-coated dog doesn't need to be shaved because doing so permanently damages the undercoat. It makes to grow back patchy, so you'll need to keep shaving the dog over and over again for the rest of its life. Plus, the double coat helps them regulate their own body temperature, and taking it away just makes them more susceptible to sunburn and overheating. I know it looks like they're wearing a thick fur coat and you just want to take it off, but the best thing for your Husky or German Shepherd is to get it de-shedded. Stories like this just make me want a dog, I'll tell you. Oh, I love dogs so much. Moving along, we have time for one more story, and this one's titled, "EM doesn't want her daughter to eat vegan, refuses cheaper food." I finally remembered I have some EP stories to share, but I think I'll stick to this one for now. It's a bit anticlimactic, but, well, it's one of my faves. Our cast: EM, entitled mother, VK, vegan kid, CW, co-worker, and me. Take a wild guess. So, I used to work in an ice cream store. Working there was like therapy after years at a coffee house. Customers were almost always happy, the work was pretty laid back, and you got free ice cream on your breaks. What's not to love? We used to carry dairy-free options so everyone had the chance to have a cold treat in the summer. This ranged from sorbet to smoothie bowls. The smoothie bowls ranged from $5 for a bowl and $3 for a cup. Not sure why the packaging changed the price as you were literally getting the same amount, either way, but I digress. We had $5 deal days on all of our ice cream for one day of the week, with as many toppings as you could fit. Those were my favorite days, as so many customers would walk away with big smiles. That was when you'd see the most variety in your customers. CW and I were running hot. We had all the machines topped up with plenty of toppings up front. The day was coming to a close for us, and CW's mother decided to drop in. This would be the first time I met her face to face. I didn't really think she was an EM until this experience. She arrived with VK and began browsing the options. Cool, awesome, enjoy your ice cream. VK looks at the sorbet machines and EM pipes in. Oh, you don't like those flavors, do you? This didn't sound too harsh to me, she just sounded like she was genuinely caring for her daughter's preference. No, not really, I guess I'll go without today. No, we're here to get ice cream. We're all getting a bowl. Mom, I really don't want anything else. Is this an allergy thing? We actually have a few other options not listed there if you like, I said. Oh, yeah, the smoothie bowls. I'll make you one if you want, VK. We have dragon fruit and berry mix. No, we're here for the $5 deal, and she can have ice cream. Actually, it averages out to the same price regardless, give or take like 10 cents if you get the bowl. So it's no real difference. If you get the smoothie form, it's actually cheaper. If it's really a concern, I'll pay for it, Mom, says CW. No, we're here for ice cream, and I'm not going to pay for this vegan crap. Me, done with this already. Oh, it's for vegan reasons? Now, as a disclaimer, I have the same stance on veganism as I do anything in life. Are you an a-hole? No, then I don't give a damn. You're a person, and I'll treat you as such. But EM apparently didn't want her child to be vegan, and was really pushing for her to just be normal. I don't put up with that, especially when the girl had her own job and was going to college. So she confirms that this was because of dietary preference, and I asked her to give me one moment to double check the ingredients. Though I was pretty sure it was vegan friendly, I'd rather be doubly sure just out of courtesy. We're clear, so which would you like? See, at this point, CW had already decided to pay, and I wasn't putting up with EM's behavior, especially over cheaper food. At this point, EM was sputtering hot fire, but CW had already had me ring her sister's smoothie in, with VK's permission of course, and paid. So, we got to making. EM glaring at me the whole time. VK said she really liked the smoothie, and I don't blame her, that dragon fruit thing was to die for. EM got her bowl, and CW got her free ice cream, so in the end, EM only had to pay for one ice cream, though she still grumbled about it. So long as you aren't hurting anyone, live your best life, even if your entitled parents disagree. I absolutely agree with OP, and one thing I'd also like to mention is that even though I'm a meat eater, vegan food these days is getting really good. Seriously, if you've never tried it, you should give it a chance. It hits the spot all the same if it's done well. And again, this is coming from a staunch carnivore. Anyways, with that story out of the way, we are out of time for today's episode, ladies and gentlemen. As usual, I want to thank all of you so much for tuning into Life Stories. My name is Trent. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Reddit content coming your way, and I hope to see you guys soon.